Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. In this video is to bring you a closer look at the Schlage number 34-206. This is a number 6 master pin, or sometimes called wafer, master wafer, split wafer, split pin. It's a master pin is what it is. This is a number 6 by Schlage. When you buy one, you're buying a pack of 100. That's how Schlage sells these. There may be other manufacturers who sell in multiples other than 100, but as far as I know with pins, for Schlage it's 100. Now, this is what it looks like. Schlage has an interval of 15 thousandths of an inch. So that means that this is going to be 90 thousandths, I think. Got it held inside some tweezers here. Not a whole lot we can really tell. We can kind of tell that it's gold in color. Not so that matters, but it does help differentiate. And hopefully also from the video we can determine that the top of that pin is not exactly flat, just the way that the light reflects on it, okay? And that's, of course, by design. There is a link below this video to a document called Key Bidding Specifications, and that's handy because the bottom half of that page will give you the part number for this master pin, 34-206. We can also dissect the part number. 34 tells me that it's a cylinder part of some sort. The 2 in the part number tells me it's a master pin. The 06 tells me it's a number 6 bottom pin, master pin. And indeed, it is 90 thousandths overall thickness. Okay, that is important to know. You'll notice, being a 15 thousandths or 0.15 inch increment system, that the factory has 15 thousandths between each of the pins, whether it be a master pin or it be a bottom pin. That's important. You can see to the left your top pins that are listed there as well. Pardon me. You can see to the left the bottom pins that are listed there as well. Then to the right of it, the top pins were sometimes called driver pins. That's important, those different top pins, because you need the appropriate top pin to use based on the pin stack. What that means is you're going to have a pin stack, a total of your bottom pins plus any master pins. That number will be between 0 and 9, never less, never more, than 9, never less than 0. You pick the appropriate top pin based on the plug total. So if you've got if you have a 6 master pin, those bottom pins are going to be 0, 1, 2, or 3. Won't be anything bigger than that. In that case, you're going to use either a number 1 or a number 2 bottom pin. Pardon me, a number 1 or a number 2 top pin, because your plug total will be between 0 and 6 in this case. It'll actually be, no, forgive me, it'll actually be, it could be any of them, forgive me. In fact, let's see. Well, I stand corrected. It could be only between a number 2 or a number 3 bottom pin, because your plug total is certainly going to be 6 or more. It'll be between 6 and 9, so it has to be a number 2 or a number 3 top pin is what you'd use for that. Now, above there is a dimensional drawing that gives lots of dimensional data, and that's handy because it helps in the sense of it being, we're playing the role of a depth and spacing chart. That data there tells you a lot of all of the important characteristics dimensionally of the cuts that a Schlage key requires, at least a classic key. Okay, gives you the root depths, which is the dimension from the root of the key blank to the bottom of the cut. Tells you the maximum adjacent cut specification, which is a number 7 in this case. And other important dimensional data is the bottom line that's there. It's important when you're talking about the bottom pins to go through that dimensional data, especially the 100-degree angle of cut, That's there. But the bottom pins are shaped different than a master pin. Now behind me I have a universal kit that's there, and you can and I have that universal kit because I work on more than just Schlage, and the reason I have that kit also is because I don't want to have a Schlage kit and a Yale kit and a Sargent kit and a Quickset kit and a Weiser and a Falcon and a Dexter and a Corbin Russwin. You get the point. That universal kit will allow me to pin many different systems reasonably well. The disadvantage is that the pins are not exactly the way that the manufacturer has engineered them, and while that doesn't cause a failure of being able to pin the material, the end results, especially in the hands of someone who is or would not necessarily call themselves a locksmith, can then be measured. You want to have the original equipment, the original cylinders, the original pins when you're doing a specific system. And this client in particular has a moderate size facility where they deal with only Schlage. He only has a Schlage kit and buys only original Schlage equipment, whether it be blanks or cylinders or pins. The reason that that's important is because you're taking a piece of equipment like this master pin that from its profile is square. Well, a cylinder plug's not square, it's rounded, and in fact it's 0.5 is the effective plug diameter of that plug. The treatment to the top, as we were trying to demonstrate earlier, how that's not exactly flat, is important because a homogenized kit like that won't have the same crowning exactly as you would with original equipment. So if you're doing one system and one system only, I would encourage you to stick with only the original equipment. Now the downside of that is these pins are probably 2 or 3 times the cost, 2 times the cost for sure, of the universal knockoff. They're not knockoffs because that manufacturer manufactures pins for incredibly well-known names in the hardware industry. So they're not knockoffs, but they are manufactured to be compatible with many different systems. So trade-off. If you have to deal with a lot of systems and don't want to buy 10 different kits, you buy universal. If you're dealing only with Schlage, stick with stick with genuine OEM equipment because you're going to find the end result of what you're working on to be superior. The way that the cylinders will work, the way that the keys will operate within the cylinders, the way that you will experience very long, predictable, and reliable operation out of the unit. Now, finally, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Schlage products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. I'm quite partial to Schlage, and it's because I believe in the quality of their product. It's obvious and apparent, but more so the quality of the technical support department that's there. Those folks, and one person in particular, are 100% of the time reliable, dependable, and predictable when it comes to answering technical questions. I get calls from people who identify themselves as locksmiths. That could be somebody who has just passed a test and is going to attempt to make a living as a locksmith, or somebody who's managing a campground and they want to do the key work in house and don't have an appreciation for any of this stuff, all the way up to people that I have that are authors on subject matter pertaining to locksmiths, people that I've met or talked to or have participated in classes given by. So the ability to be able to draw on the experience and responsiveness of the factory is crucial, whether I'm supporting the product directly or indirectly through another individual. It's important, and Schlage nails that all the time. Any questions on the Schlage, part number 34-206, this is a number 6 master pin, or any other Schlage product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.